Did you figure it out? Did you? Did you figure it out? Okay. All right. So let me just kind of quiz you as we're going here to see if you're right. So the first question I have for you is, do you agree with the argument being made? Do you think the word should be left alone? And if the answer to that question is yes, you think the word should be left alone, then this better be your fourth or fifth paragraph, one or the other. If you disagree, this should be your second or third paragraph, okay? Again, if you're not quite sure, don't worry about it. We'll arrange these. The nice thing about computers is you can cut and paste and rearrange these paragraphs in the correct order. But so your topic sentence is where you're making your claim. I want you to try and write the first sentence of this new paragraph that we're writing. You're writing a new paragraph. Now, it says here the first reason, and it says here the first reason. That might be true for you. It actually might be your second reason. It might be your second reason why the word should be left alone. It might be your first reason. I don't know. Whatever it is. If the first argument you're making for that side of this paper, then say the first. If you've already made another, if you think it's your second, it's your second. You don't know what to do, just put first and we'll fix it later. If you agree, it's the first reason the word should be left alone is that the words are not unconstitutional, period. If you disagree, it's the first reason some people claim the words should be left alone, we'll go with alone, is their belief that the words are not unconstitutional. You see the difference? One is, this is what I think. The other is, here's what they think. Write your topic sentence. Please, please, please tell me if you don't know what you're doing. Yep, this is a new paragraph. Do you think the words should be removed? Yes. So you're arguing you don't agree. So this is you. This is a new paragraph. What's up?
Yeah, you haven't been in class, so of course you're. So you don't have to do all of them. You're like starting at
Okay. Have we accomplished the writing of the topic sentence? Again, just answer this question for me and you'll be on the right track. Do you personally think the word should be removed? If the answer is yes, I think the word should be removed, then you're disagreeing with this argument. You think the word should be removed, but this paragraph is arguing no, they shouldn't. But you think they should, which means you disagree. Which means this is the column you're paying attention to. You would say the first reason some people claim the word should be left alone is their belief that the words do not violate the Constitution. But if you think the word should be left alone, then you agree. You would say the first reason the word should be left alone is that the words do not violate the Constitution. You're stating it as true if you agree with it. If you disagree with it, you're saying, well, here's what they think. Okay? So the next thing we're going to do is a sentence, maybe two, on context. You got some choices here. So I guess my question to you then you can answer, and then answer it in a sentence. Go something like this. Why does this matter? Now answer the question in a sentence. This matters because, or here's another way of answering it. Who cares? Now, don't just say, I care. Yeah, that might be true, but what does it matter? What does this matter? Does it matter? You could finish the sentence like this. And I give you permission to mooch. Americans have died for that flag, so it matters. Go ahead. Or you could put it in another way. Americans have died fighting for the freedom of those people who want the words removed. Oh, ho, ho. And that's O-H-O, H-O-H-O, oh, how, H-O with a little asterisk. Oh, how. You understand? Both of you, both sides are trying to say, men have died for our cause. Men have died for the flag, so the word should be left in there. Men have died for freedom of speech, so the word should be out. Great. You have other options, by the way. Is there anything up here? What is unconstitutional? What does it even mean? What does unconstitutional mean? Is Constitution a dog? You see, there's this dog named Constitutional, and these words are not that dog. They are unconstitutional. Please do not type that. It makes no sense. What do you mean unconstitutional? What does that mean? Type me a sentence. Unconstitutional means, here's a freebie. Use it if you want. Unconstitutional means it violates the First Amendment separation between church and state. Oh, how? O-H, H-O-H, H-O-H. Oh, how? You get that there, Jeffrey? Did you type oh, how? That's good. Don't type oh, how. That's weird. I have it as at this time. At this time in America, blah, blah, blah. Now, you may right now be in a little bit of concern because the previous paragraph is where we argued that it was unconstitutional, and you wrote a context sentence there, and so you might have a context sentence in this paragraph that's very similar to the context sentence in your previous paragraph where you were arguing that the words are unconstitutional. And I'm just telling you right now, don't worry about it. Don't worry if your context sentence in this paragraph is very similar to your content sentence in your previous paragraph that we wrote as a class together. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Okay? Just giving me a thumbs up. You're ready to attack the red part. I see two thumbs. That's a thumb. That's a thumb. You're not ready yet? You don't know what to do for green part? So it's just context.
What paragraph?
Well, all right. Let's try this. Do you think the word should be removed? No. Okay. So you agree with this argument. The words should not be removed because they're not unconstitutional. Okay. So you agree. So it means it's either your fourth or your fifth paragraph. Nope. You agree with this. You agree. So you agree. So it's your fourth or fifth paragraph. You list the arguments you disagree with first, then you list the arguments you agree with next. So you're listing the two arguments you disagree with in the second and third paragraph. You're listing the arguments you agree with in the fourth and fifth paragraph. You agree. The word should be left alone, right? So this is either your fourth or fifth paragraph. Okay, red part. Now I have it as document 5. Is that right? The Claremont Institute. Yeah. Okay, so it's document 5. The speaker, so you all have this piece of paper, right? Should. The speaker is the Claremont Institute. The credibility is, so the speaker is the Claremont Institute. The credibility is, it's a nonprofit organization whose mission is to restore the principles of American founding to the rightful preeminent authority. The quote is, does everyone have this piece of paper? Because I want you to like circle or highlight it there. It's the last sentence. To hold that the Constitution prohibits the state or school district from allowing the recitation of a pledge that acknowledges the existence of God would ignore the history and intent of the First Amendment and would undermine the efforts of states to foster the kind of moral virtue the founders thought essential to the perpetuation of Republican institutions. That last sentence is what you are typing as the quote from the Claremont Institute. So it's the Claremont Institute, it's a nonprofit organization. The quote is the last sentence. And then the footnote is 5. Okay, this might take you a minute or so off you go.
So I'm still finishing on this one. This will have to write, right?
So this is the first reason some people think it's unread. It should be, which you don't think so, is they believe the words violate the Constitution. Newdow, founder of the First Amendment, said. Okay, so before you say he's wrong, just tell me what you think he means. So right here, something like Newdow believes that the words violate the Constitution, but he's wrong. Yeah. You got it. Yeah. And so your argument is, if it's okay there, why can't it be okay on the pledge, right? So, Joe, do you think the word should be removed? It should be left alone. So, you agree? Yeah, but you agree. I'm just getting my set. You agree with that, right? That they do not violate the Constitution. So, you have the first reason. Some people say the word should be removed. Well, no, this is arguing the word should not be removed. They don't violate the Constitution. So is this fair? Okay. So the first is people in the words should not. These people think the words should not be removed. Is the belief that the words are not. The words are not unconstitutional. They're just fine. Right? This is a different paragraph. This is Michael Newdow paragraph. We're not quoting from Michael Newdow. We're from some Claremont Institute. Okay, so get rid of the nots. We're starting a new paragraph. Okay. So we're starting a new paragraph. So you gotta. So you're arguing the argument that you agree with here, that the words do not violate the Constitution. The first reason the words should be left alone is that they do not violate the Constitution. You still on that previous, right?
No, I finished that.
Okay.
And then I just do go on with the second reason, right? Of why.
Well, this is the other side of, this is a paragraph arguing that the words should be removed, which you disagree with.
Yeah.
Now we're writing the paragraph arguing they should not be removed. So it's actually not the second, it's actually the first. The first reason the word should not be removed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone, listen. The previous paragraph we wrote is arguing the opposite of this one. The previous paragraph we wrote in class together was arguing that the words are unconstitutional, so they should be removed. This is the paragraph that answers that. So these two are going to end up not being next to each other. Well, they might be next to each other. No, they won't be next to each other. Very unlikely. So that it is possible that your previous paragraph has the word first, the first reason, and then this one also says the first. But they're arguing the first reason for the opposite side. You follow me?
This one.
Is this the previous paragraph?
Yeah.
Should. Now, just one more sentence that says, because, actually, it's just fine. Let's just start.
That is the first reason people claim or.
People claim, yep.
So I'm on this one now? But
Well, wait now, you're agreeing with this.
I'm saying the word
Shouldn't be removed. Should stay.
should stay.
Yeah, that's what this argument is. The
Oh,
word should be left alone. You agree, the word should be left alone. Then what you're saying is the first reason the word should be left alone is they do not violate the Constitution. Period. You only say that some people claim stuff if you disagree. Joe, you need to put the phone down, or I can just put it up here. You're taking pictures. How are we doing? Are we?
I only have 2 paragraphs, so.
We have the intro paragraph, of course. Yeah, and then the paragraph that you just showed me, and then now there's this one.
I'm supposed to be on the 4th.
The numbers are not okay. So if you think this, some others might think this too. You might be writing your 4th paragraph, but that doesn't mean it's the 4th paragraph you've written. This is only our 3rd paragraph we've written, but for you, it might end up being in your paper, paragraph number 4. Got it? Okay. That's totally understandable, by the way. What you just said is totally understandable. Okay. The next thing we need to do is explain what the Claremont Institute is saying. Everybody in here, whether you agree with it or not, you have to explain it to me in your own words. Little Cindy Lou Who has walked in, and she does not understand the big words that are in that quote. Explain it at a level she understands. Dear Cindy, here's what you just heard. And then you tell me. Now, if you really don't understand what's being said here, let's take a look at it. It says, so it's document 5, yep. It's all the Constitution prohibits the state or school from allowing the recitation of right. Basically, what the Claremont Institute is arguing is that removing the words is unnecessary because it's not promoting a religion, it's just acknowledging the history of our country. We're a country where religion has played a part. Doesn't mean you have to become a Catholic or whatever religion. It's just acknowledging the role that religion has played. Right? Let me give you another example here. I think the Nazis were bad. I happen to believe that the Nazis were morons. But I acknowledge that they sort of had an important role. They sort of had their day in the sun. But that doesn't make me a Nazi. To acknowledge religion is not to endorse that religion. It's just acknowledging it, says this group. And you might think they're full of crap. Awesome. Or you might think, right on. Equally awesome. This is America. Think what you want. If you agree with them, then you're saying they're simply arguing that the words under God do not endorse a religion, but acknowledge its role. That's it. Now I'm talking to those of you who disagree. You're making the same argument. The Claremont Institute is arguing that the words under God do not endorse a religion, but simply acknowledge religion's role. But they're wrong! But they're wrong! Says you over here. You people don't think they're wrong, but you do. You people think they're wrong. You people don't think they're wrong. They are wrong. No, they're not. Do you know who you are? What I mean is, do you know who you are? Don't worry about this one. Now, go ahead and finish that maybe sentence or two, right? People, let me acknowledge before I help them. This is hard. This is hard. I am very, very proud of you for sticking with it. The reason it's so important that we do this together is because fourth quarter, you're writing your own paper. All of you are writing your own paper on an issue of your choosing. Maybe it'll be abortion, capital punishment, or should gays get married, or whatever. You're going to end up writing it the same way. Get it here so that you know what you're doing later.
So what should I say?
Should not be removed. Is there? So, well, don't put some people because you think it's true. You don't think the word should be removed. So let's get rid of it.
You should strike that.
Only if you disagree. Bailey, you agree with this. So
Okay.
this is you.
Yeah.
Only if you disagree do you put some people claim.
That's real last week we're on this thing. First reason people come.
No, you're this. You're this. Yeah. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying the first reason the word should not be removed is they don't violate the Constitution.
The first reason.
Right? The first reason the word should not be removed is they do not violate the Constitution. Says those of you who agree. Right. Okay. Let me explain that again. So what I'm saying right now is this part right here. Just basically, I'm telling you what that quote means. The Claremont Institute believes. Listen now. Don't try and type as I'm typing. Just hear what I'm saying, and then type it your own way if you can. That uttering the words "under God" are not an endorsement of religion. Instead, all it is an acknowledgement that religion has played a role in our country's history. You understand? Okay. Type that. And then, if you disagree, add these three lovely words. They're wrong. You agree with it. You're not saying they're wrong because you agree with it. Okay. I'm not sure where you are, but the next thing we're going to do is we're going to give an example. We're going to give an example that supports your argument. Right now, I'm talking to those of you who think the word should be left alone. Is that you? It's you? Listen. You're going to say, for example, and as the example, you're going to use Declaration of Independence. Did you know the Declaration of Independence has a part in it that refers to God? Who are you? Do you remember what your three rights that you are endowed with? All men and women are endowed with three unalienable rights. We are all created equally, but that's not one of the rights. Yes?
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
There they are. You are all granted with three rights according to the Declaration of Independence: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Who are you given those rights by? What does it say? It doesn't actually say God, but it might as well because it says, I'm just wondering if anyone knows. What are the words to the Declaration of Independence? You are bestowed by. Does anyone know the words to the Declaration of Independence? Okay, it's okay if you don't. You're bestowed by your Creator. that all men are created equal, you are all bestowed by your Creator with 3 inalienable rights: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Well, it could. I suppose it could mean a mad scientist. But Joe, do you actually think the people who declared independence from Britain were trying to argue that some mad scientist created all human beings? Probably not. They were probably referring to God, right? The Almighty God, the Creator. And of course, those of you who believe the words should be left alone in the Pledge of Allegiance, you will be pointing out, how come it's okay in the Declaration of Independence? If it's okay to say, refer to God in the Declaration of Independence, then it should be okay in the pledge. There, you did it. If it's okay in the Declaration of Independence, it should be okay in the pledge. Just a second. Those of you who argue that the word should be removed, you're over here, you're going to make a different argument. What's the official religion of Wisconsin? Don't say football. Yes?
There is none.
There is none. What's the official religion of Minnesota? Let's go down south. What's the official religion of Mississippi? What's the official religion of Alabama? There is none. There are no official religions. But the words in the declaration, the pledge say God, big G, capital G, not little g. Doesn't say a bunch of gods. Doesn't say Zeus. Doesn't say Lucifer. It says God, capital G, God. That's an endorsement of one religion over another. It doesn't say Yahweh. It doesn't say Allah. It says God. Big G God. That is an endorsement. It is an endorsement. Eat it, Claremont Institute. It is an endorsement. Hooah! Yes, yes. Claremont Institute is saying it is an endorsement. Yeah, it is. If you're over here. If you're over here, yeah, it's not an endorsement. It's simply an acknowledgement that religion has played an important role. That's it. Look at other documents, like the Declaration. Okay, AJ, do you have a question?
Oh yeah, why do you think they said the Creator instead of just saying
That's a
God?
good question. Isn't that interesting? The founding fathers seemingly avoided the word God. You could make an argument using the Declaration over here. Yes, they should be removed because they didn't say God in the Declaration. Nice. Good thinking. We're almost done, I promise. How are we doing?
Really cool, right? I mean, how this.
Oh, the context. Okay, so you could just say, soldiers have died for the flag that this controversy is over.
So you're like,
Oh, the sentence here starts with the word to and then goes to the word institution. That's the quote. The flag about which this debate is about. There's only one sentence left, and that is once again a because A is true, B is true sentence. If you buy it, if you agree, you'd say this. Because the words do not violate the Constitution, comma, they should be left alone. You disagree. Because some people mistakenly believe the words do not violate the Constitution, comma, they argue the word should be left alone. You're done with that? Put the computer computers away. Thank you for your time on this. I know this is hard work. Writing is not easy. And I imagine that for many of you, it's really not that fun. But the state of Wisconsin has charged me with the responsibility of teaching you how to write. And I shall do my part.
How do I format this last sentence? Or, I mean, what am I?
Oh, the very last sentence?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the first question I have for you is, do you think the word should be relevant?
Yes.
Because some people mistakenly believe the words do not violate the Constitution, comma, they argue the word should not be. Yes, you can go ahead and put the computers back. When you're done with this paragraph, we have a few things to learn about cults and religions. Remember, that's what this unit is about.
We didn't have time to work on things.
That's a good question. You know what? Maybe not put them away. I just have a few things to talk about as far as religion, and then I'm going to give you a chunk of time to either finish up the 4 little tests or work on your cult presentations, or I suppose work on these papers. So I shouldn't have told you to put it away. My apologies. I have a few things to show you as far as cults are concerned. I'll give you another, I'll start when the big hand's on the 7. Okay, so you have 2 minutes to kind of finish up, and then let's talk about religion and cults a bit, and then I'll try and give you 10 minutes or so. Okay. You know, just share it with me, and then that should be all good. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Wherever you're at, will you just pause for a moment? Let me just talk about a couple things as far as religion as cults is concerned, and then I'll try and be done by the time the big hand is on the 8. Give me 5 minutes, and then I'll give you the rest of the hour to work. So let me ask this question before I talk about this thing called religious economy. Let's just create a little game show. You get to choose. Would you rather go to McDonald's or Subway? Okay. Got your choice? How many would rather go to McDonald's? Their fries are delish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many would rather go to Subway? All right. Now, you know what country you live in? Joe, what country do you live in?
I'm pretty sure we live in the US.
America. Very good. Does Joe, does Bailey, does Jeffrey, do all of you have the freedom to go to whichever restaurant you want? Yes, you do.
That's with your parents.
And of course, then they dictate. Okay, that's right. But generally speaking, you have the freedom to choose the restaurant. If your family's going out, you choose what restaurant you go to, right? You get to choose what clothing to wear. You get to choose what religion you are. You know, those of you, I don't know if any of you are Catholic, but you go through this process called confirmation. And that's supposedly you choosing on your own. Yep, I'm going to go with what my parents baptized me. And maybe some of you have said, no, I don't want to. And that's fine because you're American, right? In other countries, you don't have that freedom. When you have the freedom of choice, you have a question? No. Okay. When you have the freedom of choice, that's called an economy. In the restaurant, it would be a restaurant economy. Clothing economy. An economy is where there are choices. And did you know America is a religious economy? There are choices. You get freedom. So this is not always true. 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, There was no religious economy. You were what the religion was where you were born. That's it. If you were born in a certain part of the world, you were that religion. If you were born in North America 2,000 years ago, you worshiped your ancestors or you worshiped the buffalo god. If you were born in this region within the past 700 years, you worshiped Allah. That's it. If you lived in this region 1,000 years ago, you were Catholic. And then after Martin Luther, you may have been Lutheran. And after John Calvin, you may have been Calvinist. But generally, you were Christian. If you lived in this region, you worshiped ancestors. If you lived over here, you worshiped Buddha. If you were over here, you worshiped the Hindu, et cetera, et cetera. I could accurately predict what religion you were based on where you were. Where did you live? I could accurately predict that. Today, if I were to look at this room right now, and would I be able to look at you and say, yeah, the glasses, the eyebrows, Catholic? Is that right? No. What? Right. Where does it say Catholics shall wear glasses? Right? I don't know what religion you are. I have no idea. I don't think there are any, no Buddhists in here. Any Buddhists? Not too many, right? We don't have, in this part of the country, we don't have too much Eastern religion. That really hasn't made its way. But I don't know what religion you are, generally speaking, right? It's because we have a religious economy. In early societies, I knew exactly what religion you were. You lived there, you're that religion, whatever religion it is. Anyone know what we're looking at? What religion? Yes? Or what society?
Egypt.
Egypt, very good. The Egyptian sun god. Does anyone know who the Egyptian sun god was? Yes.
Ra. Right?
Is that right?
Was it?
I actually don't.
Oh, I thought it was Ra.
I just wanted to know if you know. Okay.
Got the big bird head on him.
This is kind of a cool map of the world. This is an example of what I'm talking about. If it's green, it means there's choice. You have freedom of choice in the green country. So you can see that, apparently there's not much choice in certain parts of Central America. Certain parts of the Middle East, you have to be Muslim. In certain parts of Africa, you have to be worshiping of your ancestors. There's even a part on Earth where you have to be Catholic. It's called the Vatican. The Vatican, which is the world's smallest country. It's fascinating stuff. There's a country so small, it's inside of a city. The Vatican is a country inside of a city called Rome. It's a country inside of a city. Crazy, right? You have to be Catholic. Any questions here? I got one slide left. Go ahead.
Wait, so does that mean New Zealand, you don't have a choice?
This is New Zealand, and it's green.
Yeah, I didn't. Oh, whoops.
Where did you think New Zealand is?
I couldn't tell you. I thought it was up there.
This is Indonesia,
Yeah.
and it's basically, let's not misinterpret it. Because it's gray, that doesn't mean that there's laws requiring it, but there might be laws, but there might also be other types of pressures, right? Again, think about the pledge. You don't have to stand, but some of you feel like you probably should so that you aren't treated differently, and that would be a sort of forcing you. Similar here. Not necessarily laws requiring it, although there might be. But there might be other types of pressures you better be. Otherwise, one slide left, and then the rest of the hour is all yours. We've met this guy before. He's a sociologist, and he's automatically smart because he's bald, he's skinny, and he has glasses. That makes him smart. It's just a rule. It's a rule. Name one guy who's bald, skinny, and has glasses, and is dumb. We'll have to edit that one out of the old video. All right. He is a sociologist, and he says, you know why religion exists? The reason religion exists. And he gives a definition. What is religion? And I don't really care if you know that or not. But he says religion has a purpose. There's a reason religion exists. And I'd like to know if you can figure it out. So just think, don't think as your religion. What I mean is, why would a sociologist say religion probably exists because? Go ahead.
bring order to a society.
Very good. It's a way of organizing society, right? You better be good, otherwise you're going to burn in hell forever, right? And that works with some people. The idea of eternal punishment works. Okay, very good. Anybody else? Any other thoughts on the matter? Why does religion exist? Go ahead.
Just sort of to coax people into believing that this is like the way things should be. Like the Bible, there's a bunch of stories saying like, don't be mean, like help.
Good. It's a way of perpetuating morality. Religion is a way of perpetuating morality, right? Be kind. And your little 5-year-old son someday, you're all going to have children someday, he's going to say, well, why? And you're going to say, because God wants you to. Now, you could get complex arguments, but he's a 5-year-old. He doesn't understand. But when you say, because Jesus loves you, oh, says the 5-year-old. By the way, I'm not saying that's mistaken. You want to believe that? Great. Okay. Anybody else? There.
Answer questions like people can't answer.
Very good. The most basic one, answer the unanswerable. What is this all about? Religion gives the answer. Here's one other fun thing, and then we're done. Religion also is a way of perpetuating the culture. I think I've said this already, but do you know that in India they don't eat cow meat? That's considered a taboo. Why though? Why? Yes?
Because they believe that cows are people incarnate.
Very good. But why? What's the point? According to a sociologist, the point is to save the protein. Right? There is a protein shortage in India. There aren't a lot of cows. So all we do is teach them that cows are incarnated people. They won't eat the cows. We've saved the protein. And this has evolved over thousands of years. Right?
That seems a little flawed because, like, if you say you can't eat the cows, then they're not going to eat it. So what's the point of saving?
It's not that they can't eat it, but it's like a special. It's like turkey here, right? Nobody eats turkey except on one day, right?
So they do eat it.
Well, yeah, they do eat it, but it's rare, celebrated, big deal holiday sort of thing. Yes, that's very good. Okay, I'm done.
After like
Whatever.
the Ramadan or something.
Well, that's a different part of the world, but you get the idea. After a religious significant holiday.
What's the thing that like Middle East does? Muslims do, they fast, and then after they fast, it's a celebration. What's that called?
Yeah, Ramadan. Yep, that's exactly right. Yep. Okay, I'm done. You've got tests that you could be taking. Some of you have religious cult things that are due not this week. Is it next week?
Yeah, what day next?
I think Tuesday.
Okay.
I believe Tuesday of next week. So you got to. Did I say the 7th? Is that a week from today? Oh,
I thought you said the 5th.
7th would be Thursday.
that's a weird day for it to be due. Hold on. I have it up here. Let's find it. When did I say that was due? I'll find it. There it is. March 5th. March 5th. So that's a week from today. Yeah, March 5th is 1 week from today. Okay. Just those of you who signed up for the cult thing. There's only certain of you that signed up for a cult. It's due for you 1 week from today.